They burned his books in the streets. The Catholic Church banned his writings for over 400 years. Kings studied him in secret while condemning him in public. And yet, 5 centuries later, his name still makes people uncomfortable. Why? Because Niccolò Machiavelli didn't write philosophy for the masses. He wrote an operating manual for reality, and what he revealed was so dangerous, so brutally honest, that the powers that be decided you were never meant to read it. But here's what they don't want you to know. The forbidden knowledge wasn't about how to be evil. It was about seeing the world as it truly is, not as you've been told it should be. And once you understand what Machiavelli actually discovered about human nature, power, and survival, you'll never see people the same way again. You'll never trust the same way. You'll never be blindsided the same way. Because the game has always been rigged, and the only question is whether you'll learn the rules or keep playing by ones designed to keep you powerless. Let me ask you something. Why didn't your parents teach you this? Why didn't your teachers? The answer is simple and terrifying. They didn't know it themselves. Or worse, they knew it but kept it from you because an aware population is a dangerous population. So they fed you fairy tales about fairness, about karma, about how good people always win in the end. Meanwhile, the people who understood Machiavelli's truths were building empires, closing deals, and pulling strings you didn't even know existed. So what exactly did Machiavelli discover that was so forbidden it had to be hidden from you? Let me take you back to 1513, Renaissance Italy. The country wasn't unified. It was a bloodbath of competing city-states, each one scheming, betraying, and warring for power. Foreign armies from France, Spain, and the Holy Roman Empire marched through at will. Political leaders rose one day and were assassinated the next. It was in this chaos that Machiavelli, a diplomat who had been tortured and exiled, sat down to write what he had witnessed firsthand. And what he wrote shattered every comfortable illusion about human beings. The Prince wasn't a book of theories. It was a field manual written in blood and experience. And the first forbidden truth he exposed was this: humans are not rational. You've been told your whole life that people make logical decisions, that they weigh evidence, that reason guides their choices. That's a lie. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel." Translation? People make decisions based on appearances, on emotions, on what looks right, not what is right. Think about it. The friend who asks for your advice but ignores it because the truth hurts. The person who claims they want to improve their life but keeps making the same destructive choices. The politician who wins elections not with policy but with slogans that make people feel good. Logic dies the moment it collides with desire, fear, status, or comfort. And Machiavelli understood this 5 centuries before modern psychology proved him right. This is why you lose arguments even when you're correct. This is why facts don't change minds. This is why the people who master emotions, not logic, are the ones who control every room they enter. The powerful don't waste time trying to prove they're right. They make people feel they're right, and that is infinitely more effective. But here's where it gets darker. If people aren't rational, then everything they tell you about themselves is a mask. Every smile, every promise, every declaration of loyalty, it's all performance designed to protect feelings, not reveal truth. Machiavelli saw through the masks. He wrote, "Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved." Now, before you recoil and call that evil, understand what he's actually saying. Love is fragile. Love is conditional. Love is only loyal when it benefits the person giving it. You've seen this play out in your own life. That friend who only calls when they need something. That company that preaches "we're a family" until the next round of layoffs. That partner who keeps their options open while demanding your commitment. This isn't loyalty, it's exploitation dressed as loyalty. And here's the part that will make your stomach turn. Loyalty without reciprocity isn't noble, it's weakness. Machiavelli watched leaders get stabbed in the back by the very people who swore allegiance. He saw that people don't betray you because they're evil. They betray you because circumstances change and their self-interest shifts. The person who loves you today might destroy you tomorrow if it serves their survival. Not because they're monsters, but because they're human. This is why Machiavelli's second forbidden truth was so dangerous. Trust is a weapon used against you. When you trust someone, you hand them the map to your vulnerabilities. You lower your defenses. You stop questioning their motives. And that's exactly when they can manipulate you most effectively. Think about it. Your boss earns your trust, so you tolerate disrespect. Your partner earns your trust, so you ignore red flags. Your friend earns your trust, so you reveal secrets that later become ammunition. The powerful understand this instinctively. They don't trust blindly. They observe, they test, they verify. They build walls, not bridges. And when someone proves untrustworthy, they don't give second chances out of sentiment. They cut them off without hesitation because they understand a fundamental law Machiavelli discovered. Betrayal isn't a surprise, it's a consequence of giving unearned access. Now, you might be thinking, this sounds cynical, this sounds like a miserable way to live, and that's exactly the reaction the system wants you to have. Because if you dismiss this as cynicism, you'll keep being naive. You'll keep getting hurt, used and discarded. But if you accept this as realism, you gain something far more valuable than comfort. You gain clarity. Machiavelli didn't write his forbidden knowledge to make you cruel. He wrote it to make you aware. Because once you see how the game is really played, you have a choice. You can keep pretending the world operates on fairness and karma, or you can learn to navigate reality as it actually exists. And the reality is this: perception is more powerful than truth. Machiavelli wrote, "Everyone sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." In other words, it doesn't matter who you are, it matters who people think you are. Your reputation is the armor that shields you from betrayal, the sword that cuts through lies, the shadow that precedes you into every room. Think about the leaders you respect. Are they truly virtuous, or do they simply appear virtuous? The CEO who gives to charity but built their fortune on ruthless tactics. The politician who campaigns on family values but operates with calculated coldness behind closed doors. The influencer who preaches authenticity but carefully curates every post for maximum engagement. They understand what Machiavelli knew. Strategic authenticity wins, not being fake, but revealing only the parts of yourself that serve your goals. This is why the Catholic Church banned Machiavelli's work in 1559 and kept it on their Index of Forbidden Books for over 400 years. Not because it was wrong, but because it exposed what the Church itself was doing. The irony was suffocating. The same religious authorities who condemned Machiavelli for describing manipulative power tactics were using those exact tactics to maintain control over millions of believers. Ban the book, control the narrative, keep the masses obedient. Classic Machiavellian strategy. But here's what the Church really feared. Machiavelli separated politics from religion. He said power doesn't come from God or divine right. It comes from force, cunning, and the ability to control perception. This was revolutionary and dangerous because if people realized that rulers weren't chosen by heaven but by strategy and violence, the entire system of obedience would collapse. Now, here's where Machiavelli's forbidden knowledge becomes uncomfortably relevant to your life right now. Everything I've just described isn't ancient history. It's your workplace, your relationships, your social media feeds, your political system. The game hasn't changed, only the battlefield has. In your career, the person who gets promoted isn't always the most qualified. It's the one who understands perception management. They make sure the right people see their wins. They strategically take credit. They build alliances with decision makers. They understand that competence without visibility is worthless. Pure Machiavellian strategy. In your relationships, the people who maintain power aren't the ones who give endless love. They're the ones who create strategic distance, who maintain mystery, who never become completely predictable. They understand that scarcity creates value and that being too available makes you taken for granted. They've read the forbidden playbook, whether they know Machiavelli's name or not. Or you can accept the forbidden knowledge. You can see the masks people wear. You can understand that loyalty is conditional. You can recognize that perception shapes reality more than truth does. You can learn to protect yourself in a world where everyone is playing by Machiavellian rules, whether they admit it or not. But understand this: once you see it, you can't unsee it. From this moment on, every smile becomes a question mark. Every promise becomes a calculation. Every act of generosity becomes a strategy you're trying to decode. You'll start noticing the games people play, the power moves, the manipulation tactics, the strategic silences, and you'll realize just how blind you've been. This is the burden of awareness. Machiavelli didn't write his forbidden knowledge to make you happy. He wrote it to make you formidable, because in a world where power games are constantly being played around you, ignorance doesn't protect you, it just makes you an easier target. The forbidden truth Machiavelli never wanted you to find, or more accurately, that the powers that be never wanted you to find in Machiavelli, is this: the world isn't governed by the rules you were taught. It's governed by the rules that work, and those rules are ruthlessly simple. Perception beats reality. Fear beats love. Strategy beats morality. Action beats intention. Results beat effort. You don't have to become a monster to survive in this reality, but you do have to become aware. You have to see people as they are, not as you wish they were. You have to understand that everyone, including you, acts primarily from self-interest. You have to recognize that trust should be earned through consistent action, not given freely based on words. You have to accept that sometimes being kind means being firm, and being compassionate means having boundaries that cut like steel. Machiavelli's final gift to you is this: empowerment through disillusionment. When you stop expecting the world to be fair, you stop being disappointed when it isn't. When you stop trusting blindly, you stop being betrayed unexpectedly. When you stop clinging to moral purity, you start making decisions that actually protect what matters to you. When you understand the game, you can finally decide how you want to play it. The forbidden knowledge isn't that you should be ruthless, manipulative, and cruel. It's that you should understand those who are, recognize the tactics, and protect yourself accordingly. It's that you should use strategic thinking not to hurt others, but to prevent others from hurting you. It's that you should see clearly so you can move wisely. 500 years ago, a man sat in exile and wrote down everything the powerful never wanted you to understand. They banned his books. They demonized his name. They tried to erase his truths. But truth has a way of surviving because it's useful. And what Machiavelli understood about human nature remains as relevant today as it was in Renaissance Italy, because humans haven't changed. We're still driven by fear and desire. We're still ruled by emotion more than logic. We're still playing the same power games with different costumes. The only question that remains is this: will you keep playing blind, or will you finally open your eyes? Because the forbidden knowledge was never really hidden. It was just unpopular. And now that you know it exists, now that you've glimpsed behind the curtain, you can never claim ignorance again. The choice is yours, but choose wisely, because in this game, the unaware don't get second chances, they just get used. Welcome to reality. Machiavelli has been waiting for you.